Today is April 4th. It's the midweek episode. We got Sharp Stats and a conversation with Aaron Boone coming up. Excited to chat with you guys about all of it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy.
Dan Slotnick.
Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes.
Oh!
Your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy.
I have no
Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy. Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, episode number 889, brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code YANKS and you will get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. I use the app all the time. I like it because it tells me if this is a good deal or a bad deal. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I want this section. I know that this is a section I want to sit, and there's only red dots available. So I'm like, well, I should go to another section. Find myself some green dots, which mean go, good deal, good value, good times. Jake, how you doing?
70,000 events every single day at SeatGeek.
No one counts that.
If you go to every one, let us know.
Send me the list.
James Davis, Talkin Yanks, Jhony Brito, Katie Sharp, Aaron Boone. What a day! And it's a ring year for me, so that's good news for Yankee fans. Married, bong, UConn, one for the thumb. Fifth national title, first for their thumb.
Is it soured a little bit for you by how easy
Marriage?
it was?
Both, yes. No, it's just bizarre because they were a dominant tournament team, but like if UConn fans picked other Connecticut teams, you'd pick the other ones because like the stars were like awesome. It's like Kemba, it's like Okafor, it's like Rip. This team just came together and was like the perfect team. Everyone knew their role and they dominated. So that was pretty cool. Like
That's Hurley ball.
That was the no sweat championship, which was like bizarre.
Most boring tournament run ever. Like there will not be like documentaries about that. It's just there was no drama or excitement.
Like there's an argument they're the best team ever, and I don't think they are, and that's coming from a UConn fan. But it was like really cool. It's like the most dominant run ever. So
the least memorable, most dominant team ever.
We're gonna film the doc. So yeah, I'm running high off of that. And yeah, like I said, wedding, UConn, Yankees, and 26 rings and pocket watch.
Let's do
How
the
are you
Sharp
doing?
Stats. I'm excited to hear from Katie Sharp.
How are you doing? I love Katie Sharp.
I'm good.
Big UConn fan.
I
Katie
taught James
Sharp.
to say I love you yesterday, and it's like even though he doesn't know what it means,
Right.
or like awesome, it was
Right.
pretty cool. And then I walked him inside,
Yeah.
and I said, "Say it to mom. Say it to mom."
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Sound like a dog.
He said Jonathan Arauz.
Bite your fucking tongue. Let's do the show. Sharp Stats.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey guys, Queen of Stats and Sharp Stats is back for another season. And let's get right to it for today. You guys just didn't talk enough about Jhony Brito in the series recap podcast. So that's what I'm going to do today. And first thing I want to know is just how amazing his start was on Saturday for just in terms of Yankee pitchers making their MLB debut. So before Brito, no Yankee pitcher making his MLB debut had ever had as many strikeouts as he had, that's 6, allowed as few hits as he did, 2, and allowed 0 runs in their MLB debut. So that was pretty special for him. And there's 2 things I really want to highlight about him. First is the chase rate that he got on all of his pitches. So he got a 43.8% chase rate on his pitches. That's percentage of swings on pitches outside the zone. And for context, last year, only 2 Yankee starters had a game last year that had a higher chase rate than that, and that would be one by Nestor and one by Jordan Montgomery. But the thing that really shone that he really excelled at this weekend was with his changeup, which was amazing. So he got swinging strikes on 11 of the 28 changeups that he threw. That's a 39.3% swinging strike rate on the changeups. Now, if you look at all of Major League Baseball last year, only 3 pitchers had a game where they threw at least 25 changeups and had a 39% swinging strike rate on the pitch. Those three pitchers, they did it once each, were Shane McClanahan, Kyle Hendricks, and Sandy Alcantara. That's a pretty good list to be on. There's a lot of good things that we liked about Jhony Brito's start this weekend, and it looks like when they need another fifth starter, he'll be coming back up again. Hopefully, more good things to come. Thanks, guys.
Thank you to the queen of stats,
Thanks, Katie.
Katie Sharp. We didn't talk about Jhony Brito enough. I did talk about him a little bit, and that changeup and how much I like it and how much I think his repertoire plays in the bullpen if he gets pushed out of the starting rotation. But yeah, I didn't realize, and you kind of mentioned like the historic debut, and you're like, is it historic? And you wanted to fight someone over it. But yeah, most strikeouts, fewest hits, and 0 runs in an MLB debut. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's someone that Jhony Brito should be pissed off at. Just so mad at.
You.
Luis Gil. Sorry, dog.
No, it's not a fight. We're on the same page.
Stop fighting with me.
Don't apologize. This was a celebration.
You just said Jhony Brito want to fight me.
He does because of the bullshit you pulled on him.
Luis Gil blew it for Jhony Brito because we kind of spoiled milk. Like the kid came up and threw 6 innings, shutout, 6 Ks, but 4 hits. And it was against Baltimore before Baltimore made the turn to becoming like a real program. So it's a little unfair. But yeah, that's why we watched Jhony Brito and it was, all right. Like, yeah, this is good. That changeup looks good. We're getting swings and miss. He's getting through it. He looked good. So the other person Jhony Brito should be mad at is himself because he was coming off a perfect game in spring training. So Yankee fans, Jhony Brito is coming off a perfect game to make the team. And then Luis Gil is in our memory banks as having like an incredible rookie debut that, yeah, Jhony Brito had a historic Yankees debut, but we were like slightly numb to it.
It's true. But it was really good.
It was really good. And it was a deciding game of the series that it led to a good record day, a happy record day, which we like that.
43.8% chase rate on all his pitches. Now, the context that Katie gave to us there is really nice, and that's what she's so good at, is that last year only 2 Yankee starters had a higher chase rate in a game. So obviously, accumulative, the chase rate's going to go down. But I like comparing it to single games. This was higher chase rate. And I do think it's a product of teams not knowing him. Like, not only did they not know if he was going to start or not up until like a week before, there's probably not great film on his stuff or data on his stuff because it's his big league debut. And that changeup, if you're not ready for it or able to sit on it, and the Yankees struggle when they face a pitcher for the first time as well. It lends to that, but that is awesome.
And a changeup or splitter, basically, kind of pitches of similar ilk are the toughest to pick up. A slider or curveball, a good one's still going to obviously get you, but fastball, changeup, when those are mimicked properly, they look right out of the hand. And even if you're going to the next level with it, the matchup was good for Jhony Brito because traditionally the opposite side is going to struggle against changeups more. So if you're a righty pitcher and there's a lot of lefties, which the Giants had a lot of lefties, and I guess another tier past that, because it was interleague play, it's not like any of the Giants minor league guys had seen Jhony Brito.
Yep.
Like it's not like there was 2 guys in the lineup that got to start in AAA against him. No, because it was all Giants like PCL minor league guys. So
I wonder, did Tyro and him ever do some spring at bats against each other?
They met each other.
I don't even know. Jhony Brito's young, right?
He's 25.
Oh, not that young.
Which I think Tyro's Tyro's 27 now.
Old.
February 22nd.
Old as dirt.
I love people in that age range. With birthdays in that age range. Jess.
Yeah. Aquarius is.
Joe's. Sorry, BBD. I don't control the birthdays. My ex-girlfriend, Steph. Oh, Jimmy.
She's doing well.
Yeah, 2 kids. Very happy. Got back into golf. Jhony Brito. Yeah, and I'm...
and you're saying burrito there, right?
Burrito. Okay. It is getting closer to burrito accidentally, but burrito is right.
You've slipped once or twice and said burrito.
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 Yeah.
There has been a couple times where I've tried to say Brito and it's come out Brito.
Oh boy, that was gross. Everything you said.
That whole sentence got gross
You
at
just
the
came
end.
burrito. Ew.
He's leading the AL in wins, win percentage, ERA, and games started. So I mean, wow.
You're gross.
Oh, come on. I don't need that.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you very much. I mean, we can ask. I'm definitely want to ask Boone as he joins us in the next segment about sending him down, coming back up, roles, situations, what he thought, and especially the cummed up burrito stuff. I don't know if I'll ask him that.
That should never come up again.
All right. Deal?
Deal. Philip. But it opened up the lane for Ian Hamilton, Jim.
Slambio.
We just realization that me and Davis had before we started this. Ian Hamilton, same age as Ron Marinaccio.
Yeah.
Has young 30s angry energy vibes. Like his whole
mid-30s.
I've made it back.
How old is he?
I made it back. He's 27.
That's a tough 27.
It's an intense 27.
Yeah.
It's a very focused on the mound 27. I wonder what the Yankees have truly in their plans for them, because right now the back of the bullpen, reminder, Albert Abreu, Colton Brewer, Ian Hamilton, Jimmy Cordero, all Yankees right now.
Yeah.
All Yankees right now. Hammy does have an option, so that's good to note. And he hates being called Hammy, which is also a reminder to the people. But the Yankees,
he hates us.
I don't know. I guess I would just tell the people he's going to be a part of this Yankee season because he has an option, and the Yankees clearly like him.
I know the Yankees play roster games, but did you see me tweeting last night about what the Astros announcer said?
Mm-mm.
So I was watching the Astros game, and the Astros announcers say that Dusty Baker has been petitioning for them to have expanded rosters in April because the 26, this is what they said, the 26 guys you leave camp with are the 26 guys you get to use for the first 10 games. You can't send a pitcher down. You can't option a pitcher down and replace him. Right. And I was like, the Yankees have done that twice already. And I think Yankees play the roster manipulation game, which means we've known it more than anyone else. And that's why the Yankees always break camp with the DFA candidate, because you can only bring a guy onto the team that's not on the 40-man. So that, because if it's a 40-man guy, you have to option him down. Like Weissert got optioned down. So Weissert cannot come back up for 10 games. But
injury.
But Hamilton, he was never optioned because he didn't make the 40-man. And they always break camp with one of these guys.
Yeah.
And then they always break camp with a position player that they can DFA. Florial, Cosma, I forget, there's been others. But
Jay Bruce retired. I don't think that was the
Tulo
plan.
got hurt. There's always stuff where they make these moves. But it was so wild to see other fan bases and people respond like, no, you can't. No, you can't. I'm like, the Yankees do it every year.
Yeah.
Then it is a little trickery. But also they set themselves up to be able to do this, but they are kind of playing with people's livelihoods. I don't know how you feel about it.
They funny business Hamilton himself. They asked him to push his minor league opt-out day from opening day to April 5th because they told him, oh, you'll be up.
Yeah.
It's the day they got him back. They got him in on it.
It's increasing on the margins, and this feels like the most minute. Is that the word? Minute way to do it. Of 3 days with Jhony Brito to then add Ian Hamilton, but hey, Ian Hamilton threw 36 pitches last night, and when we look into the future of this year and we look at Mike King's appearances and Clay Holmes and Wandy, and hey, if them doing that dance saved, potentially 2 of those guys' appearances, sure. Why not, Hammy?
Calling him that still.
Ham8, Andrew Benintendi.
I am Ham. All right, let's kick it to Boone, brought to you by Vizio. Tell him a little bit about it.
Jim, Vizio televisions. Heard of them?
Yep.
Familiar.
Yep.
You watch them almost every day.
Yeah.
I'd say every day. And Vizio is the best way to do it with their award-winning TVs and soundbars at insane prices. Hello. We're talking big 4K screens for under $500. Remember when those first came out? And they were like, I love when they come out with a new TV and they just charge it for like $5,000 and everyone's like, no. If you wait it out, you get to the good spot, and you get to that good spot with Vizio. Brightness that cuts through glare when you're watching day games. Okay. It's important for the baseball fan in your life. From like 10 a.m. to noon in my apartment, near impossible to see. So might have to get myself in the Vizio lab if that works. And yeah, there's sound bars too. Get in the game with Vizio. It's MVP of value. Vizio.com. Check out how you can elevate your AV experience all season long. That's Vizio.com. You know there's a link in the description. Gong.
Booney, good to have you. I said the first time we chatted, we're coming to claps or, wild overreactions either way. I think it's claps right now. I think it's pretty soundly claps, 4-1. I do have you guys winning over 16 games in April. I mapped it out. I actually have you guys winning 19, but that was before some of the starter injuries. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, so good. You got to feel happy to turn out.
Yeah, look, obviously, a couple of key guys, as we know, down to start things. Not ideal when you lose a couple rotation pieces out the gate, and Harrison down, and a couple key bullpen guys. But as I've talked to you guys about, it's opportunity for other people, and it's a chance for you to really dive into some of your depth, see what guys maybe are going to play a integral role moving forward. Who can play a role moving forward, who is somebody that maybe kicks their way in and becomes a central figure moving forward. That's what these early injuries create those opportunities for. And, so far, obviously, very early through these first few games, I feel like we've played pretty clean. And, overall, I like where the guys are. And my biggest thing coming out of spring was like, and talking to them was like, hey, we're ready. You guys are ready to go. You guys are prepared. And in a very small sample, they've played that way so far.
Booney, well, I'll do my fake attempt at being media real quick because we just want to check this off. Judgy fouls one off his foot last night. He pinch runs. He's good. He's in the lineup today. We're just getting him off his feet.
Yeah. I'm actually DHing him tonight.
Okay.
But yeah, that was just an 8-1 chance to squeeze a half an inning off his feet in that spot here early. I was actually going back and forth a little bit with Carlos, my bench coach. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, get him out. And I held off for a minute, and then once he got the hit, I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's run for him. So, yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Good. Good. That's good. Yeah. All right. Good job, Jake, being good media, getting it out of the way. I want to talk about Brito and kind of the roster construction up and downs. Like, since we talked, Volpe got named a starter. Peraza starts in AAA. You guys bring in Franchi. You've talked about all of those, a lot of places, but I was watching the Astros game last night, and they said that Dusty was complaining that they can't bring guys up and down in the first 10 days. And I was like, well, the Yankees do that all the time. And it is a little bit of like, I don't know if it's Cash or the crew. Like, you guys are good at preparing for this situation. The fact that you had, Ian Hamilton not on the 40-man, so you can bring him up, whereas Weissert can't come up for 15 days or unless an injury. Same with you bring in Colton Brewer. How much of this is, that is like playing with the rules and really thought out, or how much is happenstance? Because obviously some of it's thought out. We're like, hey.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Fish and Cash are really good at doing those things, and the front office has become very good at identifying, guys that maybe have made some pitch changes or swing changes or whatever it may be, and like identifying those kind of things and how real do we think they are. So it is a challenge because of the guys on the roster not being able to access them the first 2 weeks of the season. In Weissert's case, If we had kept him and as one of the only optional relievers there early, and with the new option rules where you only have 5 a year, if you do it before the season, it doesn't burn one of your transactions there, or one of your times that you can do that. And we knew we really liked Hamilton all spring. Like, he showed us, like, okay, we feel like this guy can absolutely be a factor. There's a couple other guys down there that are on non-roster situations that we also feel like we know we're going to get into a pinch or into a need, or potentially like the 12th this month, where we may be in a need where we may have to pop somebody that can give us a little bit of length. So we knew we wanted to build in some of that. Colton Brewer was the guy that kind of jumped up on our screen, I would say 2-3 weeks before spring training ended. I know the front office was excited about some of the things they were seeing from a pitch profile and that sort of thing. So at the start, you're kind of trying to build yourself as much depth as you can, so to give yourself that roster flexibility, to kind of keep your powder dry when injuries happen inevitably. You have real depth to fall back on. And so, adding a couple of guys like that has been the case. And in the case of Colton and now Ian, both their first outings were not only strong, but impactful. Like, you're grinding over innings right now as you're building starters up. So it's like, last night, for example, I don't love going 4 outs with Loizaga or having to go to Holmes necessarily, but it's like, you use up so much pitching in bulk that somebody's got to pick up the slack in certain games. Hamilton was big for us last night, but biggest thing right now is trying to attain as much depth to protect yourself against some injuries early on.
And you saw that with Jhony Brito move and sending him down, knowing he's going to come back up. And I think you had said that he can still start on the 12th, but as I understand it, he can't, because it's 15 days unless an injury.
Yeah, no, he can't start unless there's an injury.
Okay.
So he would not be eligible to make that start on the 12th unless there's an injury where we're able to replace him.
So is that then a spot start, or how does that affect the decision? Because I understand you still need and want bullpen arms, and you're using them when they're coming up, but is that going to be?
So it kind of depends going into that. Say the day before we get a long outing from a starter and we're set up pretty good in the pen, it may affect who you go get. We need a guy to cover us for an inning or two or more. So we'll just that's kind of will be determined like literally the couple days before. You'll start to have an idea, and kind of the night before you'll make a call on, hey, how many innings do we need? What's the best way? Who's throwing the best down there? Who fits the role the best in this situation? So that's just something we'll have to weigh when we get there.
But it would definitely, you're thinking not in-house, not like a bullpen day on the 12th. Definitely probably someone, not Brito, that will come up and get the spot start.
Probably. I would say it'll probably at least be a reliever that's capable of giving us some length, of giving us some coverage. But again, you could get hopefully you're in such a clean situation that you do just turn it into a straight bullpen day, but we'll have to see.
You mentioned Hamilton briefly. The Slambio. The word of the day. When did you hear about that? Because I Googled it last night and I saw an article from 2020. Did you hear about that in spring, or when's the first time you heard Slambio?
So it was a couple weeks ago. So in spring training, we're trying to name the pitch because it pops up on the board as a slider. He throws it like a changeup. So in his mind, it's a changeup. And it's got kind of characteristics of both, but it kind of has and acts like a little bit of a slider. So there we blended the two names there. The way it started was David Grabner in our front office said, because we were trying to name it for PitchCom, like, what do we call this thing? Is it a slider? Is it a changeup? We're talking to Hamilton about it. What should we call it? And David Grabner said, well, it's really weird and it's really good. I said, can we put that on the like, let's just call it really weird and really good. So
throw that weird pitch.
That weird pitch. So then we settled on Slambio, I think, and I think you got a little peek of it last night. It's a unique pitch.
He holds it like a changeup.
He holds it and throws it like a changeup, but
That is weird because it looks like a gyro slider. Like Edwin Diaz throws a slider
Yeah.
that just drops instead of sweeps or has no horizontal.
yeah, so it has a little bit of that to it.
Yeah. It is interesting as fans that like changeup isn't a word. Talking to players a lot and talking to Plouffe, who's on Talking Baseball, like they never say changeup. You say cambio. Like that word is won out. The Spanish word for changeup is way more prevalent in clubhouses and dugouts than changeup, right?
Yeah, definitely cambio's big. Yeah.
Good word.
It's a good word. It's
Rolls
more
off
fun
the
to say.
tongue, yeah.
It sounds like
It
a
is.
dance in your
It
mouth.
is.
Yeah,
It
cambio.
is.
Boone, the boys have been running a little bit this year. Obviously, Volpe was going to be a part of that. Glaber's got 3 steals. We know we got the new rules, the throwovers, the bigger bags. I also saw Glaber had a piggyback steal. Are guys trying to hit after Volpe? Because if he's on the bases in front of them, you're kind of snagging a free bag yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hopefully we get some of those this year. But no one's lobbying to get behind them to get a free bag. But
DJ hasn't crossed his
Yeah.
mind.
Rizzo.
Nah, I'm good. Rizzo. Yeah, do you need us to have a little like public intervention on Rizzo and stealing?
seriously, yeah.
Do you want us like is he's too veteran to get the red light? Like we understand he's a great baseball IQ. I think it's one of the best we've seen on the Yankees in a while, especially base running. But last year I was calling like, I think we got to intervene. Like Riz, we don't need this.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes he goes into invisible mode too, thinking they're not going to think of him over there and just starts taking off. So he was actually pretty upset with himself coming in. And I actually, Mendy and I, again, were like the pitch before talking about, hey, is this time, do we pop one maybe? And we're talking about it. And he went and I'm like, that wasn't the time. Might have been the time. The timing wasn't very good. So, so we talk about it a lot. He's done a good job of that in his career of getting those kind of sneak up bags, but people are aware of him now. So you got to kind of make an adjustment back to him.
Yeah, he's smart when the ball's in play at grabbing that extra base. Like that outweighs his speed. One of the better combinations of that I've seen in a while.
And his speed's not getting better either.
We got that cranky back too. It's like, let's not just,
exactly
take it nice and easy. You say you're calling for a steal there. That was like a little question I had. Volpe comes up. He's a rookie. A lot of baseball fans, we grew up playing high school or even some college where the coach dictates everything. He's going to tell you to steal, not steal. Now, I know at the major league level, there's so much more feel the player has to have. But with a rookie, like, is it just a green light for him? And do you have to tell him that? Or are you telling him to steal on certain pitches? How much control and managing on the micro level goes into that decision making?
It's a little bit of everything. Sometimes it's matchup dependent, score dependent. You're green for a number of pitches. I'll hold you back. I'll nudge you. So it's a little bit of everything when it comes to not just Anthony, but all of them that, we have kind of in and out of green and red and holds, and I definitely want you to go kind of thing. I think in Anthony's case, the one thing he's earned a lot from me already is trust on the base pass. He's really, really good. He's a special base runner. Works really hard at it. Again, he's not a burner. He runs well. He's a plus runner, but he's not a burner by any means. But he's such a dynamic base runner, and you can see just kind of changes the game when he's out there.
Yeah, those hops into the steal are pretty cool. And I wonder, I don't know how much those are pitch clock based, where he's able to like bounce with the 3, 2, boom. He kind of skips into it.
Yeah, a lot of our guys have gotten better and better at that. Matt Tallarico, runs our base running in player development and spends a lot of time with us too in the big leagues, has done a really nice job with a lot of guys and teaching them the nuances of that and how to master that and how to make it work for you, how to protect yourself, from getting yourself in trouble out there doing it. So he's done a really good job with that. And Anthony's he's just special on the bases.
Boone, I want to turn it a little bit, and again, 4-1. The boys are humming, but and Not everything's rainbows and butterfly. Our guy Hicksy's been a hot topic, and you understand why. I mean, he's a guy who he was a starter on this team for a while, and now he's kind of fighting for playing time. I guess, are there a lot of extra conversations that go on with you and Hicksy there, or is it kind of all laid out? Like, I think it's kind of if you play good, you're going to be out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not having conversations all the time by any means. I communicate ahead of time with guys, whether they're in there or out of there, what I'm thinking. In Aaron's case, playing last night, playing tonight, is kind of looking at the week ahead, like these are matchups that I like them in. So trying to put him in positions to where I think he can be the most successful. But the reality is, there are a lot of competition for at-bats and playing time right now, and he's in that mix. I thought he did a really nice job in spring training, especially the last 2 weeks heading into the regular season. I thought he was having really good at-bats, and he's just got to continue with that, and the more and more he can get a foothold and perform like we know he's capable of, that's going to open up some more opportunities for him. But the reality is we've got a deep roster. A lot of guys that deserve to play, frankly, and we'll just continue to try and make it work the best we can. And I'm going to try and get them in there, first and foremost, when I think, he gives us the best opportunity to win and match up, and hopefully he can get some, get some rhythm going in the season.
Yeah, when you pencil in IKF at center field, you got to – when Hicks takes that in, and I disagree with the decision, and I think that IKF looks kind of fluid out there and easygoing in center field. But when you pencil that in, like Hicks sees that, he's like, "What the hell's going on?" A little bit.
A little. I mean, the only thing that I don't love about it is it was at the beginning of the season, so those first three. So the reality is, I just didn't want to necessarily go with Aaron against, like Cobb and Stripling, that are tougher matchups for him as a switch hitter because they're more reverse guys. So I wanted to create the best possible matchup the first time he was going to roll out there, knowing that, guys can't wait to get on him, which, isn't always fair. And so I'm trying to, I want to get the guys in the best matchup, as well as wanting to get IKF out there, because we do believe he can, do some things out there. We do like him at the plate against certain matchups and things like that. So just trying to,
and the
really
first series, and this is kind of picking up on this more now than before, is like, you probably want to get everyone their debut in the first series, right? Is that on your mind? Like, Franchi plays yesterday in game one of the second series, but still it's like, you probably don't want to make a guy wait 7 days or so before he even gets to like start his season. Is that on your mind at all at the beginning?
Absolutely. I mean, look, because especially in the month of April, like even with our everyday guys, there's going to be a day where, as we build these guys up. So you're trying to keep that in mind, and you're kind of looking at the week ahead, and all right, who we up against, who's pitching, where does maybe this bench player match up the best, and also coupled with maybe getting a regular, a day and strategically doing that. But yeah, you got 4 guys on the bench. You want to get those guys involved because they're going to have to play a big role at some point. And I feel like the more you can keep guys involved and part of things, the better chance they have a chance to really contributing to a winning club and a winning team.
Booney, we want to wrap up with some lineup stuff, and we saw Glaber in the leadoff spot, and we've discussed leadoff a lot. And when DJ's out there, like you said, he's the leadoff guy. I guess personally with Glaber, does he have a spot in the lineup that he wants lead up, he wants 5, and I guess the other thing that's kind of been on Yankee fans' mind is, Glaber outside of August had a really strong year last year. Can he slide up the lineup? Like, I know you guys like Donaldson in that 5 hole. Can he jump Donaldson, or do you guys kind of not view it that way?
Yeah, I mean, kind of hope not. I hope everyone's just kind of rolling and they get into a nice little rhythm of where they all are in the order. Glaber's that guy that I will pop around some different places Look, assuming health, right?
Yeah.
With everyone, so there's going to be a week that I have Donaldson down or DJ down or Rizzo down. Like Glaber's that guy that I kind of slot and feel like I can throw in any spot. So I let him off when DJ was down. Rizzo's off tonight, so Glaber will hit third tonight, for example. So Glaber's that guy I feel comfortable kind of moving anywhere in the order, and he's kind of hit everywhere in the order and done it well.
When you do that, and this is kind of going back to like my micro, like managing in the micro level questions, when you move Glaber around, first 2 games, and this isn't a complaint, he's hitting really well, but he was swinging at everything. I think he was just up there swinging, which is good. He's getting results. But when you move him to the leadoff, is there any conversation of like, hey, like see a couple, let Judgy see a couple, or you think that's just innate, or you just like don't change your approach?
Yeah, don't change your approach. When he's at his best, he's got an aggressive mindset. And I feel like one of the good things we've done here through the first few games, not only just Glaber, but as a team, is we've done a good job early in the count of being aggressive. Because a lot of times guys want to just get ahead of you in that, but also let the at-bat unfold too. So that doesn't mean just we're going up there swinging and we're not changing anything from a control the strike zone, but being really aware of what we're looking for in certain situations, where in the strike zone we want to attack, and not being passive at all early in an at-bat. And Glaber's done a really good job of that, of being really aggressive, but he seems very much under control and having good long at-bats, when he doesn't necessarily put one in play right away. So 3 walks last night, a couple hits, obviously another homer. So he's stringing together a lot of really good at-bats right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll let you off so DJ's at first, Judge DH and Glaber 3, Stanton and Wright.
Yeah, look at you guys.
Donaldson 5th.
Donaldson 5th. Oswaldo Hicks.
You can't do both back to back with a bullpen day. So
Higgy Volpe.
Hicks IKF.
Hicks IKF Volpe.
Wow. So who's in? Okay. So is IKF in center, Hicks in left?
Higgy Volpe.
Higgy Volpe.
Okay.
And that's so Trevino catches Cole tomorrow on the day game?
Yeah, they got to split that anyway, so I'll have Trevi catch the day game.
Wow. Beautiful.
You got
We just guessed that line.
Yeah. Beautiful minds over here. Just like every hint you gave us, we're like, well, we just untangled it.
Yeah, you guys are paying attention. I like it.
All right.
With a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Over there, a smile.
Yeah, yep. We're all over it.
Good. I like that.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Go get another. We got Trey Turner in the office today, and he's told us to ask you to just take it easy, but I totally disagree with him.
They really want that first up.
He said, Trey, you want us to ask Boone? He said, can you just let us get a win? And
he said no.
I said, no, I don't want that. So
tell him to take it easy. He's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, man.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Booney.
Vizio interview by Boone over Jake. A little post-game interview right now. That was fun. I feel like we got some good insight into they're going to bring up a reliever for an opener. Maybe. Don't hold them to it.
Yeah.
We snuck it out of them.
They're playing the game a little bit, obviously, and if an injury happens, that obviously changes the math. I wonder, the name that went through my head, who had an okay outing the other day, was Davy Garcia. I wonder if he gets on the map or
I think starters have to be in cadence, and that's why it's easier to do a reliever who's got innings.
Right, but that's kind of what Davy did the other day. He did like a 2.1.
Is he in line though? Is what I'm saying for that 12.
That's what we'd have to keep track of, because that's still 8 days away from now, or maybe a Matt Crook or some of the other depth names we've talked about.
Ooh, Norwood.
That'll be Jimmy Norwood, your guy. Is he still with the squad?
Be careful. Let's do the post-game press conference, which is brought to you by Shady Rays.
Shady Rays. The bright moments of this whole episode have been brought to you by Shady Rays, and you got to cover your eyeballs to hear them. What?
Wow.
Shady Rays, world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair you'll find. I wear my Shady Rays every day. They're at my desk right now. But if you've seen a picture of me wearing sunnies recently, they've been Shady Rays. And they're basically for life because they have their lost and broken replacement guarantee. If you get a pair of Shady Rays and you lose them or break them, they will send you a brand new pair, no Q's aid, if you know what I mean. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to ShadyRays.com, use code YANKS, 50% off, 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Summer's here. Baseball games, you're going. I went. I wore my Shady Rays. So go to ShadyRays.com, code YANKS, 50% off, 2+ pairs of polarized sunnies. What else did you like there, Jim?
I like learning about the how much they are on the steal, don't steal, and that they do it in batches of pitches. So like, I like that he said Volpe has a green light for like 3 pitches. Hey, if you feel real good about one in these next 3, you can go. I also like that he said me and Mendy were thinking about sending Rizzo right there.
Yeah.
So they were kind of on the same wavelength,
yeah.
But he was open to our intervention. So
He definitely needs someone else to kind of say something.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't think he'd just give us the lineup like that. That was kind of cool.
Well, it's so funny that this team is they are a planning team. It's what we talked about with their early in the season routine. It's what we talk about with their lineups. Like they probably knew the first, 4 or 5 games of lineups, barring injuries, and that's what we've seen. So, our most successful game of Guess the Lineup ever.
Yes.
Thank God he gave us some hints along the way. The Rizzo
Our
sitting.
our pre-show guess.
Rizzo sitting would have really tripped us up. And Judge at DH, that was a good one too. I'm trying to think, what else did we cover there?
The Brito getting sent down and, and kind of like the roster manipulation, depth protection that they do play. And him saying, who do you give credit to? Fish and Cash. They say they're really good at that. And like the Yankees are, if you love it or hate it, they're good at it.
Yeah.
If you think it's not good, if they mess with players' emotions too much, if it's too up and down, they are good at maximizing depth via the rules. And if there's an IL stint and Brito comes up to make the start on the 12th, I'm suspect.
Funny business.
Yeah.
As we know in the business. I also liked that he views Glaber as kind of his versatile piece. Like,
yeah, we know that they do that, but to hear him say that is
1-3 tonight, 6. So that's
he likes him swinging aggressively. Which I'm not complaining about that, but I was just when you move him up to the leadoff spot, does it change?
Glaber gonna Glaber, you know?
Yeah.
And just swing and hit, baby.
Yeah. They're all doing that. It's their thing.
Because it's hilarious.
It's their thing.
It's the funny, like you said, it's a combination of a baby move,
It's a toddler move.
a toddler move, and it's also like teammate and self-praise at the same time. Like,
Glaber's the best
We're-
at it. I think Glaber started it. I think
did.
he's the best at it.
We're those guys.
But Rizzo likes doing it a lot too.
Like, we're the Glaber and Rizzo. Sneaky good connection with the I love yous.
The Lizzo.
And Lizzo. New shirts, by the way.
Yeah, people keep requesting Judge and Rizzo Jizzo shirts, but I don't think we can do that.
I think people would be shocked to find out I put a kibosh on that,
hey,
as did MLBPA.
yeah, we're officially licensed with MLBPA, so go check out our shirts. They're really cool these days, and they're doing really well. And also subscribe to the channel, and we love you, and enjoy the game, and thanks for tuning in. And go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
If you're in those like nice seats by the Yankees dugout, make sure you yell, "Booney, I love you, I'm talking Yanks."
Good stuff on that Yanks show, Boney. That was such a good impression of an old guy at the stadium.
That's really good.
Yeah.